Well, there's not much too much more to say. It is time to go racing for the General Motors Cup at Seafair. You see all those people, you see all those boats. They're here for one reason, to see who's going to take home the trophy, to see who's going to make the memory of Bernie Little continue on, who's going to take home the pepperoni today, if you will. We've had a great day of racing today. Everybody has stayed on the water as we had hoped. We've had some close races. We've had a couple of parades. But all told, what we've had is a lot of people working very hard to put on a great show. And that has been the case. And we're going to find and crown a champion here in just a few moments. Let's give you the lineup for the final heat as we get set to run for the General Motors Cup at Seafair. And these are the fastest boats on the water today. They will be vying for position, but we'll start with the Miss Budweiser, the Miss Trend West, Oh Boy Oberto, the Lumar Window Film, the Grand Central Casino, the Miss Elam, and of course the winner of the provisional heat. Again, that Grand Central Casino is in the final today. It's a great picture from Chopper 7, don't you think? Chopper 7 has brought you, along with our wonderful technical crew, some of the greatest racing pictures we've seen, and it's all going to culminate now coming up in the finals. So let's check the course. We're going to talk about the course and the clock and how much time we have in a moment. But, Mike, let's start with the guy who's got a couple of first-place finishes today and is the boat to beat in the final.
And he's the boat to beat in the final. He's the defending champion also. And he is the guy everyone's going to gun for. They'll be keying on the Budweiser. They'll be watching every move Dave Billwalk makes. And they're going to try the 2 or 3 boats they think they can actually beat him to keep him ahead of him when we get down to about 1 minute.
Bill Rocky, you've been tracking the Budweiser camp all day long, and you're with the man who runs that team.
That's right, Steve. Joe, this is what it's all about right now. This is the final heat, and the butterflies are out there, aren't they?
Well, there's no question. And I tell you, it seems like the oxygen's drawn up on this dock and taking the deep breaths. We're all excited, all nervous, and hope everything goes well and come out safe.
He gets to fight for his lane, and that's what Dave wants, right?
Exactly. He's sitting right up there right now, and you know he's thinking about every second of it, and he's already played it out in his mind, and I think he's ready to go out and do the job.
All right, Joe, thanks for joining us. We'll see what happens. The Budweiser ready to go down here.
A boat that has been fast and has been loose, and that's Terry Troxell's Miss Trend West. Jim Harvey is one of the really nice guys as owners go, Chip, but he may not have enough boat to compete today.
Terry Troxell is as good as anybody out there, but I don't think his boat's ready. It's new. It needs more time. He needs more time in it. I don't think today's his day, but he certainly could play a role in deciding who is.
Well, let's find out from Gard Swanson about Terry Troxell, who's sitting in that cockpit right now. Gard.
All right, thanks a lot, Steve. And Terry, I got to ask you, can you breathe in this thing? It's pretty tight.
Do it again. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me? How about this? It looks tight in the cockpit right now. I mean, you are just scrunched in there for the final.
Tight, just the way I like it. Time to go fly the boat now.
What kind of changes have you guys made for the final? You finished second 3 times during the heats. What kind of changes?
We loosened it up a little bit and worked on the front wing. Hopefully we got the right combination to win.
I asked one of your crew members what kind of strategy you guys have, and they say, don't ask us, ask the man behind the wheel. What do you have?
Well, you kind of gotta, you know, we have a game plan when we leave. We like to have, you know, lane 1, lane 2, but we're not going to be afraid to get lane 6 and make a run at the clock.
I asked you after, I believe, heat 2, and you said you were kind of tired. How are you feeling right now? I would imagine the adrenaline is just rushing.
No, I'm pretty calm. If you weren't here, I'd probably be asleep.
Well, don't fall asleep out there, please. You got a big final coming up.
No, once it's fired, we're ready to go.
All right, Rabes, back to you.
Be sure you climb off that boat if you would, Gard. Let them run without you and our cameraman. Here's Steve David, the U6 Oh Boy Oberto. A couple of first-place finishes today. Wow, what a day for the pepperoni boat.
And the pepperoni boat has had a fine day with a couple of first-place finishes, but now they are in some tough company. I'm not so sure that Steve David's got everything he'd like to have to be able to run with a couple of these guys, but he's going to give it everything he's got. The boat is held together. The crew, if anybody deserves it, this one does.
The U8 Lumar window film with Mark Evans at the controls. They won in Tri-Cities. They were second in Madison, running a new hull this year, and has been a bit of a disappointment today, Chip.
He has not had a good day. He won last week. He's got to do 3 things. He's got to be inside of the Budweiser. He's got to be at the start line exactly on time, and he's got to have more momentum at that start line than anybody else. If he can do those 3 things, he can win this.
And before we forget, a happy birthday to Bill Worcester, who turned 80 this year. Way to go. Here's the Elam, the Miss Elam Plus, Nate Brown. He's been all over the board, a first, second, and a fifth.
Of all of the drivers, this is the man that Dave Villwock is thinking about as he plays out his game plan, and it unfolds in his mind. Nate Brown has a lightning fast boat. He has been handling it well. When he gets a break, he knows how to take it. But sometimes he doesn't start well. Let's see whether or not he can solve that problem first.
Hey, Greg England, how about an idea on a little of the strategy coming out of the Elam pits?
Well, Nate talked about that start. He said that's a key. He has not been happy with his start so far today, and he said if he didn't get a good start, he's in trouble. Also, keep in mind the right side of that back fairing is damaged. They've got orange duct tape on the back of it. Nate doesn't think that's going to be a problem. I asked the guys, where do you find orange duct tape? They said Home Depot. I never knew.
That's 200-mile-an-hour tape.
200-mile-an-hour orange duct tape, yeah.
When my dad uses it, duct tape.
And finally, the provisional heat winner, who joins now the rest of the fast boats in this final. This is the U10 Miss Grand Casino, the pride of Dawsonville, Georgia, Mike Weber at the controls. Chip?
They came in the back door, but that doesn't mean they can't leave out the front door. This boat showed a lot of speed in the provisional, and Mike seemed really intense to me when we talked to him after that provisional. I think he can do it if maybe everybody else is a little late at the start and he hits it on the button.
And again, it's worth reminding folks that whereas it used to be the provisional winner would start how many boat lengths back?
Like 5 boat lengths behind.
Almost impossible to win from that or even score from that position. Now you can actually win being up on the front line.
It's all even Steven right now.
Yep.
Chip, I don't like the news that they loosened the Trend West. That didn't set well with me. What about you?
Well, it's Terry Troxell. I mean, like J.W. Myers, he's not a boat racer. I mean, he's just a racer. He's just down and dirty, and, you know, giving a racer the choice of, you want to be conservative or should we loosen it up and go for it? Terry Troxell is going to go for it.
Chip was talking about it's not so much the wind speed, but when it gusts and what direction it comes from. Right now, it's fairly calm, at least in our position. Let's take a look at the weather conditions out on the course here. Stan Sayers pits, 71 degrees. The wind speed still around 13 miles an hour, but gusting just a bit. And now with the score-up procedures, as we're going to watch from Chopper 7. Chip, I want you and Mike to take us through what do these drivers got to do to hit this start and what lanes are they looking for?
Okay, if everybody's seen Top Gun at about 2 minutes and about 20 seconds, you're going to want the guy that you want to be inside of. You want him in front of you. So when he starts to turn to get the inside lane, you can dive underneath of him. Right now, you're looking for the boats that you know you have to be inside of. Right now, it looks like Nate Brown's doing a great job getting the inside, but Dave Villwock is right behind him, ready to pull up inside of him. He's not going to do it right now. Nate has got the inside as they come up the front chute. Dave is right there behind him, trying to see if he can find a way to get inside there. Now, what Dave could do is to hang a left real hard, cut across the race course, and establish the inside lane on the far side. But it doesn't look like he's going to do it. It looks like Nate is going to have the inside, but how big a price did he pay for it? Is he going to have to get up there too early and not have boat speed at the start?
The other situation is that it seems like the psyching process for the Lumar has not run.
Somebody cut across, Mike. Mike Weber did cut across. What we think that Dave Villwock might do, Mike Weber did it, and now he established the inside. Dave now looks like he's in lane 3, so the Budweiser's been pushed out to lane 3 unless things change.
But now with well over a minute to go, these guys still...
They're early. See, Mike got the inside, but he got it too early, so he had to... Now he's turned around. Now he's in big trouble because the lanes he wanted are filled. Now Nate's too early. He's pulled off. Dave Villwock is off plane, but you can only stay off plane for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's right on the cusp there, but it looks like Dave Villwock did a great job. He's got the inside, but maybe he's too early.
And before we go racing, Mike, I just want to remind everybody at home that there are some folks watching on the beach right now who have a chance. There they are. They could win $1 million depending on what boat wins this General Motors Cup at Seafair Championship. So, folks, good luck to you. Good luck to the drivers. Mike, we're getting set for some great 5-lap racing.
And everybody arrived pretty early, as Chip mentioned, way down on power. But this is what they do. Their timing starts during qualifying for. They got to determine whether they can get from virtually off plane to as much power as possible. And that's exactly what Dave Billwalk is thinking about.
Billwalk's
comes
in
around
great
the corner.
shape.
He's got a great start shaping up on the inside lanes for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to have a legal start.
Oh, he didn't get up there. Dave's in trouble. Dave's
going to have a legal start, but Dave did not come into the starting picture as fast as he thought he should. Trent West did. And look at him take off.
Okay, Trent West can come all the way across here if he wants, because he's got 5 boat lengths. Trent West is going to be hard to beat. Look at the Budweiser. The Budweiser made up a ton of ground by having the inside lane. I think right now Budweiser is in the catbird seat.
All right, right now Trent West, the leader, down the back chute. This is a 5-time around heat, of course. Got to go 5 times. That Trent West field handling as has been all day has got to be able to hold off Budweiser for 5 laps, and I don't think that's going to be possible because the Budweiser's already pulling alongside on the inside at the apex of the north turn on lap 1. And it looks like the Elam is about to go dead in the water in that corner. Something happened to Nate Brown, and he's out of it.
Dave did a great job. He was late at the start, but he got the inside. The other guys thought they had it. They were in there too early, had to take off. That left Dave the inside, and I don't think anybody can beat Dave Billwalk in the Budweiser from the outside.
Trent West in second place across the line. Grand Central Casino third. It's the Oh Boy Oberto fourth. The Elam is back under power again and trying to catch up, and for some reason the Lumar doesn't appear to be even competitive in this one, running dead last at the present time. Down the back chute, Dave Billwalk is stretching out his lead. As you can see, he has the inside advantage. He's got everything just the way he would want it. To overtake him right now, the Trent West would have to have almost a superhuman effort, and the boat is not quite up to that kind of an effort at this point.
Right now, this is the worst case scenario for anybody but Dave Billwalk. You've got the fastest boat, you've got the best prepared boat, you had the inside lane. I tell you what, you just don't beat Dave Billwalk from the outside.
And he is pulling away on his lead. Came across the line that time at a speed of 143.3 miles an hour. The Trent West is now being challenged by both the Grand Central and the Oh Boy Oberto. The Oh Boy Oberto is riding some bad slop, and here comes Mike Weber on the outside, coming up in the Grand Central Casino as he overtakes the Oh Boy Oberto down into the lower corner. He leaves in the lane, gets around him just fine, and he's going to come back after the Trent West at this point. This is your real race right now for third and for fourth, but Trent West may not possibly be out of trouble. Terry Troxel might find these fellas in his mirror real fast. Budweiser continues to lead without any difficulty. The Budweiser is way out front, and should everything run well for Dave the rest of the way, and of course he listens for the gremlins at this point, he's going to run away with this General Motors Cup and Seafair. But we're hearing some compressor stall in the Bud as it comes across the start-finish line to end that lap. Here's the Trent West now, having pulled a little bit forward. It appears that Troxel realized that he was going to get challenged a little bit, but Mike Weber still trying to put the pressure on him.
Mike, there is some question now about the Trent West perhaps getting across the start line before the gun.
It looked like it was awfully close, yeah. And I can't say he did or he didn't at this point. My guess would be he jumped the gun, but that's only because the flag folks have been pretty fast out there, and they've been so far so right.
So actually the real race might be for second place behind the Trent West. We'll keep an eye on that contest.
That's right. It may be indeed for second place, and that second place battle, or third and fourth as the case may be, is still a dandy between the Oh Boy Oberto on the lower part of your screen and the Grand Central Casino up on top, but they've got a boat between them to deal with, and it looks like Steve David is going to ride in that slop just a little bit and try to come out on the inside of that wake. No, now he's going to slide back into the wake, trying to get the softest water possible. Meanwhile, Bud way out in front. And the Trent West physically second place on the race course. Question mark as to whether it's a legal starter.
The two boats that we really thought were going to be the biggest threat to the Budweiser, last and second to last, and I'm afraid that Mark Evans now is actually going dead in the water.
It appears that the Lumar has expired right at the start-finish line. The real question is what happened to Nate Brown? He was actually in pretty good position on his start. When he got up into that north turn on the first lap, he got into a tremendous amount of water, practically put the fire out.
Well, I think two things happened. Dave Billwalk did a great job getting the inside, and I think, although I can't see it very well from my ankle, I think he had a tremendous first corner.
Checkered flag is out for Dave Billwalk, and the Miss Budweiser wins the General Motors Cup. The battle for second is a battle that includes both the rule book as well as the physical position on the race course. But right now, Across comes the Trend West with a white flag. Checkered flag goes to the Grand Central Casino in second place, and to the Oh Boy Oberto third, and to the Elam Plus fourth place. And it looks like Mark Evans has gotten some power back in the Lumar, and he's going to be able to finish.
Well, you know, Dave did it all. I mean, he got the inside. What did we say going into the final? The two boats that we thought could win, they had to be on the inside of Dave.
Absolutely, and they weren't.
And they had to be, you know, ahead of him quite a ways at the start line. They didn't do that.
But you pegged it. Dave knew that that's what they had to do to beat him, and he just didn't let them do it.
And guys, I don't mean to take any steam away at all from the Budweiser team, but everybody expected them to win. But is it a surprise? The provisional winner, the Grand Central, comes up unofficially with a second place finish here after fighting all day and fighting through the provisional. By allowing him to start up on the front line, it allows him to place in the points here and make a great showing for his team.
Absolutely fabulous finish for those guys, and they worked very, very hard for it. That's probably the strongest, toughest team in the pits right at the moment in terms of keeping their boat in the thick of it, even though they knew that when it came down to a head-to-head battle, there were 2 or 3 boats that were quicker than they were.
You know, Dave, it's hard to drive the Budweiser because you're expected to win, but you know, a lot of people feel that Dave wins because he drives the Budweiser. But that time, he did what he needed to do, and the other guys did. That was a driver victory.
When we come back, we're going to talk with Dave Villwock and the crew of the Budweiser. We'll talk to some of the other drivers as well. But there, unofficially, is your champion. For his mentor, Bernie Little, Dave Villwock is going to bring home the gold. We'll be back. The cheers are going up on the beach for the big red boat. The U1 Miss Budweiser, and it's not #1 for nothing. They come back and win a couple of first places in heats today, but more importantly, they take home the General Motors Cup, the championship of Seafair hydroplane racing. Big hugs on the beach right now as Budweiser pilot Dave Villwock chats with our Bill Rocky.
All right, Dave, what a great start. That was one of your best.
This Seafair is for my mom, you know, and in memory of Bernie and my mom, you know, this will be her last Seafair, so that's an emotional win for me, unlike any other here. So we've lost a lot of good friends over the last couple of years, and I know my mom's, you know, this will probably be the last one, so this is a great one for me.
Great, that's great, and you were able to get that inside lane.
Yeah, some other guys were fighting way too early, and I managed to be in the right place right at the last second. I didn't have but a half a second. And
congratulations, Dave.
Hey,
good job.
thanks.
You betcha, buddy.
Good job, buddy.
Thank you,
good job
man.
yourself.
Thanks, Jim. Appreciate it.
So, I mean, Bud guys gave me everything I needed. I had to get an inside lane to win, as you saw from when I was on the outside. I couldn't pass him. And boat ride was perfect. Motor was perfect. And, you know, it was a great day for, like I say, this is another win for Joe. You know, here at home, this is big for us. And like I say, Mom, hope you like that one.
There you go.
And Joe, Bernie loved to win here, didn't he?
Oh, yes, he did. And I can guarantee you he's watching us right now, and there's no question that Dave was probably talking to him just like I was when he was out before the start. So this is fantastic.
Congratulations to both of you. Great win for the Budweiser today, Steve.
Bill Rocky, thanks very much. Congratulations to Dave Villwock, to Joe Little, to the Budweiser team, and to all the teams that raced out here for the General Motors Cup at Seafair today. Back in a moment to wrap things up on a great Sunday.